her back. We have Dr. Juliet Krummick here today to talk to us about preschool themed snacks and sensory bins, and you will not want to miss this. A brief introduction for Dr. Krummick. She has presented for us in the past, and she is an associate faculty at UAGC and previously Ashford, and she teaches graduate and undergraduate ECE courses. She lives in Central Florida with her family, and she graduated from the University of South Florida with her bachelor's degree and master's degrees in early childhood education. Her doctoral degree is in early childhood education with a specialization in organizational leadership from North Central University. Her work experience includes working in a faith-based preschool, teaching public elementary students from kindergarten through fourth grade, gifted, talented, ESOL, and adults in an online setting. And we had a little bit of this as a temptation, as a teaser in our podcast, but Juliet is here today to show us the big version of this, and we are so excited to have her. Juliet, the floor is yours.
All right, well, let's get started. So I am in my kitchen, just so you know, because I thought that was appropriate for food today. So why healthy snacks and sensory bins, you ask? Great question. These two areas, my slide didn't go. Try again, there we go. Okay, so both of these ideas help us focus on the five senses. We can learn about taste, sight, touch, smell, and sound while we make and eat snacks. We can focus in on sight, touch, sound, and smell while working on sensory bins. Healthy eating plays a role in being a productive learner, according to the CDC, and sensory bins build on the development of 5 different areas, according to goodstart.com, which help build nerve connections in the brain, language development, motor skills, scientific thinking, and mindfulness. So today we're going to focus on some evidence that focuses on healthy snacks as it pertains to eating, school, and home. We will also take a look at evidence of elements of time and history of sensory bins. I have spread out that information throughout to keep you excited along the way between the delicious snacks and the sensory bins that we're going to take a look at. So you can see our topics here that we're going to go over. So out of these, what is your favorite theme? Do you have a theme that needs a new fun element? So save those 2 ideas for later because we're going to add on. Here we go. To start, we have an all about me. We are going to make a delicious snack with these ingredients. With all of the fun snacks that we will see, feel free to add and take away things that you like or don't like, or your little learners like or not like. For this particular snack, you can use corn tortillas or flour tortillas, tomato sauce or tomato-less sauce, which I'll tell you about in a few slides, shredded, sliced, or string cheese. A piece of sliced cheese does cover one entire small tortilla, just for your information. Students can break apart the cheese or use the shredded cheese to make their image. So here we go. So students can make their own skeleton figure with the cheese. This is my example. My taste tester wanted so we did add some olives in there. You can eat this cold or warm. Just note that the cheese does spread out when you cook it. So in this case, we have more of a blob of cheese with eyes, which is totally fun too. All right, so with the food we serve, we need to make sure to watch for allergies and make substitution. So 2 of my family members are allergic to tomatoes. This is no problem when you can make a recipe that looks and tastes like the real thing and is all vegetables. You can simply use canned beets and carrots or fresh. I've tried them both and the product is still the same. Blend them together in a food processor and then add to the pot. In a pot, you can add your favorite seasonings and red wine vinegar. This is the most important part. Let cook for 30 minutes. It's so delicious and good for you. I do have to tell you a secret. I made this for my husband and pretended it was tomato sauce, like real tomato sauce. And I didn't eat it the first day. And then he saw a dish in the sink the next day and he knew something was up. So he was not able to tell. So definitely something to try. All right, so all about me, I made a sensory bin. And this includes letter or number card. You could use either or both. I use number cards in this one, a light table, and chocolate sprinkles. So when I think about all about me, I think about x-rays. And so in this sensory bin, I did have a small version. I have like individual sensory bins, but you can make a big one too to allow multiple children to use the bin at once. Completely up to you. This is what I use. I have little separate ones. Kids can work side by side together with them, or you can have something different every day. As you can see, it's just a little bit bigger than a piece of paper, so you have some wiggle room in there, and it's easy for kids to carry. All right, so healthy eating. All right, so according to CDC, eating healthy can lead students being better learners. Schools can help to influence those healthy eating habits. Healthy students can directly help build strong communities. Lastly, all students deserve the opportunity to be healthy and successful. All right, let's jump back into those snacks. All right, so next one, we have colors. For the snacks, you can use any fruit you have on hand. I use these. Keep in mind any allergies that you might have in your classroom. All right, so here's the fun part. So first, you'll need to cut up all the fruit into little pieces. Second, spread cream cheese to act like glue on the banana. So my banana would be the base, and you'll see throughout the presentation that I use a base, and then kids can add what they like or not like, totally up to them. So add your cut fruit and onto the cream cheese, and voila, you have banana sushi. So fun, right? So be warned that it can be very messy if you pre-cut the banana and have them slather the cream cheese on. I tried it, it was still delicious. So no worries there. All right, so the color bin that goes with this, you can see the ingredients there. So I wanted to create kind of a sky with rainbows, and this is what I ended up with. You use what you have available. So I was able to buy airplanes and ribbon at my local dollar store, but again, use what you have. For some reason, coloring rice has scared me forever. So just for you, I've tested out 2 different methods so that now you have options in coloring your rice. So first, I tried food coloring. Okay, so the good news is it dried very quickly, within a minute or so. Bad news is it really only colored the rice where the drops went and the nearby pieces. So we move it around in the bag. Little hands can help mix the rice. I put it in a sealed Ziploc bag, and so the color can be moved around. So next I tried paint. This did coat well, but I needed to let it dry. So there was darker spots from the food coloring and lighter pieces from the paint, which worked really well for what I was trying to achieve, that kind of sky look. So now you know the difference is you have to color your rice. And I hope one of those or both of them in my experiment worked really well to create that nice sky look. All right, so according to Wallace, Vine, and Costello, more students are attending childcare, which means it's a perfect opportunity to incorporate healthy eating interventions. So these researchers found a few things. Watching an adult model good eating habits, as well as enjoying their healthy food, made a huge impact on student ideas of learning. Teaching students about nutrients and healthy eating were positive ways for students to learn more about the foods to keep them healthy. Finding an intervention that focuses in on those healthy eating habits is helpful. Also, according to the study, researchers found that early childhood-based healthy eating interventions really were supporting students. They were able to find that it was effective, safe, and cost-effective to deliver. All right, so let's jump back into some more food. All right, so here we're now venturing to outer space by making rockets. I use string cheese since it's easy to cut and pull apart if you want your young learners to make their own rockets. I did pre-cut up the peppers and the carrots. You could use lunch meat or hummus or whatever else you have on hand. It's really up to you and what your learners like. So I put together a little video. Hopefully my sound is good well, so you can see the process. Doesn't that look delicious? All right, so our space fun bin. Let's see. So this was such a fun bin to make as well as play with, according to my helpers. I've included black beans, constellations. They're like little plastic things I did buy at the dollar store. Bouncy balls, mini cush balls, star cookie cutters, astronauts. You could add some rocks in there too if you wanted. So the really cool thing about these constellations is they glow in the dark. So I did take a picture. I hope you can see it. All the little stars, and the kids had so much fun trying to see if they can get it to glow. So that's just a whole nother component there that was just so exciting to see. All right, so next let's jump into Thanksgiving. So I wanted to come up with an idea to support Thanksgiving. So I thought the waffle kind of looked like a cornucopia. I cut up the apple and grape for my young learners to use to create their own masterpiece. So again, my base there will be my waffle. All right, so here is the creation to support Thanksgiving. So my waffle looked more like, kind of like a cornucopia in this example. So evidently my taste tester, whose picture I took of their creation, said it looked more like a crab who attended the Thanksgiving feast. Still delicious regardless how you interpret how it looks, but it was fun and easy for everyone to participate. All right, so here's what I use for my Thanksgiving bin. I have rice, green pom-poms. You can always use red too, kind of resemble that apple look. Cinnamon sticks, measuring cups, pie tins. However, I couldn't find the mini pie tins at any store I went to. So instead, I made them myself. I cut a paper muffin, I don't know what that's called, paper muffin cup. There you go. I cut it shorter and then I just covered it with foil. It worked really well and I was able to make them small so you can create your own apple pie in this idea. And I did include some felt pieces too, so you could kind of do that overlapping lacing at the top too, if the kids wanted to. All right, so according to researchers who conducted a study in Cali, Colombia, the study was done to see what parents did to promote healthy eating in the home. It was found that overall, it was a necessity to promote the knowledge and actually help those parents get into those healthy eating habits. So it was definitely a group effort. All right, so dinosaurs. So my taste testers thought this was the best snack. I don't know if I was clear, the best snack. It was so delicious to eat, evidently, plus fun to make. So here are the ingredients that I use. Again, use what you have on hand. We did use skewers, but the sharp part we did cut off, so it was very stubby on both ends. And I have a quick video to kind of show you how to put it together. So delicious, right? And we even use those cotton candy grapes. Oh, so good. All right, so dinosaur sensory bin. Okay, so think about dinosaurs and then think about quicksand and then think about them both together. So here we go. So this is what I did. I mixed together the dry ingredients first. It's cocoa powder and cornstarch, and then I added my water. Of course, you'll have to monitor how much water. It just depends on humidity. I have very high humidity here, so I used actually less water because we had a lot of moisture in the air. However, you mix them together and you get this. Cool, right? So the dinosaurs in the quicksand that we made, they actually kind of sink into it and kind of harden. It's really cool to play with. I did too, because it was just so neat. And the best part is it smelled really wonderful because all that cocoa powder. So it was definitely a fun bin. And my testers spent a good 20-25 minutes just playing with this, what you see on the screen right now. So definitely something fun and keeps them busy, and everything rinses off really quickly. All right, so our next stack, here are the supplies I use for nature tracks to support animal tracks. So like the others, I provide a base. So I have the crackers, and then I have different ingredients to let my taste testers go to work. All right, so here you can see that my taste testers decided to do some abnormal tracks. So we have some normal ones like dog and deer and bear, horse, and they told me that the last one on the right was an alien footprint. So again, you have time to be creative with all the different ingredients that I have. I do have some ham on there, but if you want to go vegetarian, just again, use what you have available. All right, so our next one for the animal sensory bin, I actually created a salt dough. We found some pine cones, acorns, sticks outside used for the sensory bin. You can also use Play-Doh if you don't like to use salt dough, but it was very easy to make. The best part about the salt dough is you can make a stamp. Oh, there's my picture. Make a stamp and let it dry. It takes about 24 to 36 hours to dry completely, or you could bake in the oven for 30 minutes at 325 degrees. So you can kind of preserve that track. So if you like Play-Doh, I found the best recipe for Play-Doh. It's by emmaowl.com, and you need to cook it. And I know you have to cook it, but it is so worth it. The dough is so smooth and the color just makes it so vibrant. You can also add glitter and confetti to make it even more amazing, but this is the best one that I've found so far. Definitely something to keep in mind. All right, so according to Abu, Ellis, and Ellis, 5 elements that can be focused in on while building sensory is sight, using visual or movement stimuli. Number 2, sound. The sound, differentiations of sound, like in our sensory bins, the sound that it makes when you move around is very beneficial. 3 is touch, using a bunch of different tactile objects to grow sensitivity in your hands. 4, vestibule is related to balance and gravity. So you can do that by piling things up, like into our little pies that we made with the rice and the pom-poms and the cells. You can just balance it all together. And last we have proprioceptive. Been practicing that word. That's stretching and bending and pulling, so you can kind of move things around, especially in those bigger sensory bins for the whole class. You can get those components added in there too. So with all of these components, the senses are engaged, and throughout the sensory bins that I have showed you today, you will see that I've selected a variety of different things to kind of increase all of those elements. All right, so Valentine's Day bugs. Okay, so here's what you need. Cream cheese in 1 tablespoon balls. I just used my little measuring spoons and it scooped it right up. It was perfect. Pepper, small pieces of black olive for eyes. Pepperoni cut into 1/4. And then you chop off the little sections at the top and it looks like a heart. And then I use those chow mein noodles also. All right, so I placed together pictures and a little video to kind of help you see how to put it together. I don't know what happened. Oh my gosh. So sorry. Oop. Try again, round 2.
Hey, Juliet, I think we stopped seeing your screen.
Okay, something happened. It said I lost connection. So I think
No worries.
can you see my
here?
Okay.
We can hear you great. If you just want to go ahead and reshare your screen, that would be awesome. But you sound great.
Yeah. Okay. Again, sorry.
No problem at all. Technology.
Yes, let me. Oh, there we go. I found it.
Okay.
My screen is. Okay, there we go. All right, round 2. All right. Can you see it?
We sure can.
Okay, fantastic. All right, moving on. Okay, so Valentine's Day sensory bin. I just used water, bubble bath, rose petals that I had from outside. The roses were starting to be full, so I grabbed those and put it all together with some cookie cutters. And kids went to town and this sensory bin smelled wonderful, of course, with roses in the bubble bath, and lots of fun was had. All right, so let's get back into things. All right, so another thing that I like to use. And for this snack, we're gonna have green eggs and ham plus a fish snack. So you will need hard-boiled eggs, something to mix the yolk in to make it green. I use parsley, but you can use spinach or food coloring. I feel like if you feel like the yolk is dry, cream cheese works really well to bind it together if you need that. So for the sensory bin for Dr. Seuss, you can use pinto beans like I did, white felt shaped like egg whites, green pom-poms, and Dr. Seuss items. I happen to have erasers, but I just saw a whole bunch of stuff at the dollar store the other day for Dr. Seuss. So they're already getting ready for Dr. Seuss. So very exciting. All right, so according to a study conducted by Yang and Wang, 2017, 3 tests were conducted. One did the best to look at contained sensory input and interacted with a game that was played on a screen. They monitored students pouring sand through a funnel and then looking at a screen. So it added like what you were doing in real time with the computer. It was very cool to read about. Anyway, what they found was that the positive effects of social interactions, regardless of the sensory play, really made an impact. So here is what they used to try this experiment with, and all different kinds of things to increase sensory and different elements to put at the bottom, to increase the play. This study turned out great, and the whole area of the county that this study was taken in, they all implemented sensory bins. So pretty cool. All right, so spring snack. You'll first need pancakes as your base. You can have what you have on hand. I have fruit cut up. I have grapes, blueberries, and blackberries, and banana slices, as well as cream cheese. So my taste testers thought that bugs are part of spring. So here is their bug, the new type of fly, I was told, and it was delicious. You could have it cold or hot. So definitely positive there. All right, so spring sensory bin contains dried beans, plastic pots, plastic gardening tools, fake flowers, and gardening gloves. This is definitely one of my test tasters and test players, I guess, favorite bin. It kept them busy for quite a while, actually. Just a side note, I did buy pots at the dollar store. The super thin pots that you can see in my picture within that, they're inside the other pot, they crack and break and they get stuck together. So just FYI, if you're looking for little plastic ones, I would go for a little thicker plastic as opposed to the super thin ones. All right, here we go. See, you plant those fake flowers into the beans and they stick up, and it was definitely something fun to do. All right, so weather. This weather snack is fun, and your young learners will be able to get creative with fruit. I left all of the ingredients for them, and they could be creative. So here's the masterpiece. Right, so we have oranges that look like umbrellas, and it's raining sunflower seeds. How cool is that? All right, and it was of course delicious too. All right, so to go along with weather, I made pretend snow. So you don't need to measure perfectly for this. I kind of just eyeballed it. You want the consistency not too wet or not too dry. I bought conditioner again at the dollar store, my favorite place. It made the room smell like coconuts, extra bonus. Children had fun with this. You could always add Lego people and snow items too. So moving on, ocean. So for my ocean snack, I used rice cakes as my base. I really like to have that base, and then kids can add what they want. You can use cream cheese like I did with blue food coloring, or blueberries if you want a more natural color. Or you could use yogurt as well. That would be delicious. We have also some fish, of course, fish, ocean. There's other things you could use. I was trying to keep it more healthy version, but here's the final masterpiece. And of course, it is delicious. All right, to make this sensory bin to go along with that, you will need blue food coloring, shaving cream, plastic ocean creatures, which I got at the dollar store, and access to a freezer. So first, mix the food coloring into the shaving cream. Then add your animals. Are you ready for it? Put it in the freezer. I left mine in for 30 to 45 minutes. I was working on other things while I was waiting. My testers thought this felt like ice cream. I'm not quite sure when they felt ice cream recently, but that's a different story. The different textures really made a world of difference here. The color, just FYI, of the now blue shaving cream did not transfer to your hands or to your clothes. Extra bonus. All right, our next theme is camping. Who loves to camp? So for the snacks, you will need crackers. Again, that's my base because I like to have a base there. And then kids can add whatever. We have in this particular snack picture, half grapes, pretzels, and cheese. I wanted to use those small pretzel sticks for the snacks. However, someone passed it out for snack the previous day. So I used what I had, which was large rods. The good news is that I was able to cut them and make it look like real wood. I have a picture there for the final thing. So kids tried to balance all of the ingredients on top of the grapes, which was fun. And they tried to make it look like fire. So they're trying to make that cheese stand up, which was fun too. So you this was kind of an experiment in itself along with a cool snack. So definitely fun. Again, use what you have like I did. All right, so for the sensory bin for camping, we have a couple of different things going on. We have some paper tents and some Lego people. Poor Hagrid is already stuck in the sand. We had those marble-like The flat marbles, again, at the dollar store, there as well. You can use tissue paper for blue. We used a piece of paper to reuse what we had. It worked out great. The sand and the rocks was a really good feeling for kids' hands. It was definitely good to manipulate. So it was definitely a fun thing to explore. Keep going. All right, so sensory bands history. Did you even know there was a history about sensory bands? I did not until I started researching a little. Okay, so a study done by Day, 2013, revealed that the study of artifacts can reveal types of sensory play used long ago. All right, so a few things were discovered. Some objects that have been found in the Greek mainland and throughout that area were dated to the late Bronze Age. Cool, right? That's amazing. So the findings revealed that there was a mix of artifacts, broken parts, while others were being repaired. You could tell the different shapes of things. There were layering of different materials, and the objects found seemed to be tied to a specific function or for display purposes. So if you focus in on these ideas, I could picture my play area with mixed toys to build towers, a broken or misplaced toys, some masterpieces like the completed Lego creations, for example, that are on display. Can you see how these findings are really similar to what we see today? Yeah, it's different materials in use, but the same idea. All right, so there's the last one. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. All these fruits and vegetables would cost me a fortune. Okay, so here's a few tips to make it a little cheaper. So first, watch the sales. Buy produce that's in season. It's cheaper. My local grocery store has been doing the buy one, get one free on fruit. It's crazy, right? Second, make friends with the produce manager. I explain what I'm doing and why, and the produce manager will be able to give me the same deal. Let's say blueberries were buy one, get one free, but I need blackberries too. He'll give me the same deal since I'm still buying something. So this works really well. I talk to the store manager when I need something bigger. For example, open house, I leave an apple for each parent. So in the past, the managers will have me buy a bag of apples, and then he'll donate the second bag. I only go to the manager when I'm either way over my budget for the month or I'm in need of something like right away. Use this tip wisely and sparingly. Use your best judgment. Third, visit your local farmers market. Tell them what you're doing, and more than likely, they will do whatever they can to bring down the price. Everyone wants to help children learn and be healthy. Just ask. Lastly, use what you have. Like you've seen in this presentation, I use what's available, even if I bought it and someone ate it accidentally. We need to be resourceful all the time to make the best of the supplies we already have on hand. So, what was your favorite? Did you see something that your young learners would love to try?